Hey, what's going on, guys? James here bringing you another YouTube video, and this one is another video remake, another 2021 remake. And in the last video that I recorded, at least, I did a WWE 2K14 random match remake where I took that, put it into universe mode, made it bigger and better than the original, and of course everything would have been improved because it's been like 6 years at this point since that was recorded. Now everything applies except for I also had a random Elimination Chamber match video in Smackdown vs. Raw 2010. As you can see, I've got the game pulled up here. And I'm going to also make that bigger and better. So instead of only playing a custom team in 2K14 universe, what I'm going to do is I play as my own custom character. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to, since there's no like universe mode or anything in this game, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a Royal Rumble match. And then in the video, I'm also going to do an Elimination Chamber match and then a match at Wrestlemania. And we'll do like my own Road to WrestleMania with those 3 pay-per-view matches. And if I win the Rumble, then we'll do just a bunch of random people in a Contenders Chambers match to see, or a Championship Chamber match to see who will be the champion and who will all face at WrestleMania. If I lose, then I'll be in the Chamber match. And we'll just try to make it bigger and better. Try to make it a cool, entertaining video. So yeah, and that's really all I've got to say. Let's get into it. And I also am interested because I might be on a bit of a time crunch. I'm not right now, but I might be if the Rumble match ends up lasting too long, because I don't know how long the Rumble match has taken this game. I do not remember whatsoever, and I'm 100 overall. Granted, I did do the career mode with this character. Random's fine. Yeah, I did do the career mode in the game with the character to get all the trophies, because I do have the platinum for this game. So yeah, that'd be why I'm 100 overall. But regardless, it'd be fine. So we'll just change participants. So we'll just change it so it would be all current guys at the time. I don't think Jesse would have been current at the time, but I'll keep him in there anyway. Is there any other like legend in there? No. It's weird to think, by the way, that this is when, I guess like this is before like the legends were really getting a prominent role in the games. But yeah, let's get into it. It's also been a while since I've played SPR 2010. But yeah, it should be fine. Let's see. We'll see what number I come out at. Not 1 or 2. It's JTG and Matt Hardy. So I'm just gonna set the controller to the side. Oh. I want a windmill kick from JTG, nice. So yeah, I've had fun recording the 2K14 video, even with the 3 attempts it took because of just stupid errors and issues, which having the issues was really frustrating, it absolutely was, but it was still fun just to kind of like very casually play 2K14 again. A game that I have very fond memories of. It was fun to play that again very casually, but on camera. I like that. So that was pretty cool. As Matt Hardy trying to get rid of JTG, but if he was smart, he would team up with JTG on the Big Show. Because how are you going to get the 400-pound man over this? God. But JTG is gone to the hands of Matt Hardy. That is pretty cool. But regardless, yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty cool, and not much else to say about that one, really. The video is already edited and up in Big Show. Oh god, does your weight class come into play in this? Like, is it actually easier to eliminate people if you're a super heavyweight? Because, my character is a cruiserweight. Oh god. Batista. If Batista, eliminate Big Show. Eliminate Big Show, Dave. Like, Mr. Dave. Oh, no, God. I am worried now. Because I know the button mashing Rumble minigame in either this or 11, one or the two, gives the AI a lot of priority. I guess is the best way to say it. Because I know like you can be like very good at button mashing, and sometimes the AI will still win for one reason or another. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that now. But yeah, so that video is already edited and uploaded to the channel. So that is pretty cool. I really focused on that. Yeah, I'm guessing super heavyweights eliminate people easy, and I am scared. But yes, I'm really happy about that. And at this point, between both channels, I think I've already uploaded more videos, or I'm close to uploading more videos already than I did in the entirety of 2020. Oh God. Oh, there's a number that I would always enter back in the day too. By the way, I've got like that Christian mesh shirt. This character model of mine, I have like that Christian mesh shirt and like the Sabu pants with tights underneath. Yeah, get him. Get him. Get him, Shelton. Shelton, you are the best. You are the best. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted. So I don't remember what difficulty this would be on either. Probably hard, if I had to guess. No! Shelton with a belly-to-belly off the top! Oh, God. This man just tried to kill me. Woo! I love the, oh, Jesus. God, I hate that. Yeah, this controller doesn't really work for button mashing. I talked about it before in the 2K14 video. It's a controller that I bought online. It works perfectly fine, except for sometimes it doesn't want to register all your button presses. So yeah, it doesn't really work for button mashing. Which is actually a good point to bring up, because there was a point in either one of the takes that I didn't upload for the 2K14, because the glitched out gameplay, just the capture software not wanting to save the footage, or it was in a match with the primetime players. I do remember that, and I locked up with Titus, and in this particular lockup, you can very clearly hear how fast I am pressing the button for the tie up, and Titus still won. So that's how you know the controller the controller doesn't really register every button press right away. So yeah, did not work at all. But I'm not going to be another superstar. That is not the goal of the video. Not the goal whatsoever. It just means that I'm going to have to try and win the chamber match, which should be easier. Admittedly, it should be easier than winning the Rumble. But yeah, controller issues aside, doesn't really matter. Again, it's more just a casual thing. I just want to take that original video, the original random match, and make it bigger and better and improve all the quality, give it quality of life updates. So yeah, that is the goal. So yeah, like I said before, the 2K14 video is up on the channel now, and I'm recording this one. And as well as all of that, I'm also at the point where I've taken all of the original videos, the 14 of them, from the started but never finished Super Mario Bros. Let's Play that I did way back when, and I took all the videos that were there, combed through all the footage, and it's all in a very compact highlights video now. And I kind of like it. The quality is obviously, the video quality is obviously very terrible, but that is besides the point. That was just what I was doing at the time, and I essentially was pressured into making gameplay videos before I knew I wanted to. And I think I've talked about it before. It was funny because when I first started, the people that I was around at the time, they figured out I was making videos, and luckily I was actually around a lot of people who were just like, hey, cool, and actually started checking out the videos, and they were like, so, when are you posting gameplay? And it's just like, when I get away to capture the gameplay. Because like I started at a point where I knew that if you wanted to do gameplay, you needed a capture card. Or I guess you don't need one, but it's absolutely ideal. Like, when I started making videos, I would say it was like the last time you could really get away with recording gameplay with a phone. And I know now, like, phone camera quality, the camera quality on phones is getting to the point now where most of the time it's really good. And you could probably get away with it. Because even the phones I had at the time, which were like cheap phones, normally had like cameras good enough to capture the footage and make it look alright. And the only issues normally were if it had like the glare on the screen at all. Which sometimes you just can't prevent that whatsoever. Which sucks, but most of the time there's nothing you can do about the glare on the screen. Because it can literally just happen out of nowhere. Like, you've got like the perfect setup for recording with a phone, and the game actually looks nice on the screen, and it's just, you go from like a dark thing in the game to like brightly lit, and it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna get the glare regardless. So that sucked. That always sucked, but yeah. That was the thing at the time. People always were like, we're gonna start posting gameplay, and it's like, well, when I get something to capture gameplay with. And then it kind of was pressured into making gameplay videos earlier than I wanted. And the interesting thing about that was, I did, and the people that were saying it didn't stick around for the actual gameplay videos. Like, well, that sucks. That sucks a lot, actually. Like, why would you say start posting gameplay if you weren't going to watch the gameplay? It's kind of like how a lot of people in the wrestling community for the games, particularly, of course, WWE games community, most of the people that watch the videos from the people in the community, they don't stick around for matches whatsoever. They will either completely just switch off to a different video if a match comes on, or they'll just skim through to the end of the match, see the result, and then go to the next match, do the same thing. They won't actually watch a match, which is weird. Like, if you're watching this, you're more than likely a wrestling fan, because why would you not be a wrestling fan and be watching wrestling videos? That just doesn't make sense. So, like, why would you not want to see what someone can do to put together a match using the gameplay? Because I've seen some very, very good matches put together by like 1 or 2 people using the gameplay as a base, and it's always so intriguing. And hell, I mean, I've even done it. I don't think my matches are the best by any means, but I do think I've put together some like good matches. Particularly, and the videos would still be on the other channel at this point that you'd be seeing this, but particularly I think the best matches I would recommend would be probably both of my matches that I recorded in Co-op Universe, and of course I'll put a link in the description to the videos, but both the matches for that I recorded for BCW between James Fatal and Chris Danger. I think both of those matches really hold up, particularly for me the second one, but I know like Tyson prefers the first one. But I think both of them really hold up and are good matches. Overall, I think my match that I recorded for, say, again for Co-op Universe, I recorded a match between Kevin Owens and Hideo Itami for the world title. It was my world title match on Raw, because that's what I booked in Co-op Universe. And I think that's the best match I've ever put together. Again, it's not perfect, but I think it's a really solid match, and I would definitely recommend checking it out if you're actually interested in watching matches like that. I also think I put together a really solid match between Cole Quinn, one of the custom characters that Ukes made for the 2K19 My Career. I put together a match between him and one of my custom characters by the name of Adam Daniels, and I think that was another really solid match. Like, I'm very proud of that match, especially since it was a one-take match. I didn't have to do any re-recording or anything. Like, everything just came together perfectly one take. And I'm really proud of that match, too. And admittedly, I'm not proud of everything that we've done for Co-op Universe, just because I know, particularly me, but Tyson and I recording together for his show as well, it happens a little bit. We have this weird problem where sometimes, like, it's hard for us to find the bridge between having really short matches and, like, dragging the matches out. Like, our main event of our Extreme Rules pay-per-view was a match for his show between Roman Reigns and Jeff Hardy. It was a match that he actually didn't want to have as the main event, but last second I made kind of like as we were like trying to figure out the match card for the show, last minute I kind of said, actually kind of screw it, let's have Jeff and Roman as the main event, because compared to everything else we've been building up, this is going to have the highest, not necessarily the highest stakes, but it's going to have the most build up compared to everything else. It's going to mean the most. And it's going to be with two of the bigger names on both of our rosters. Granted, like, his roster is a lot more big name guys than mine, but we just went with guys that we just really like. Like, I think my biggest name guys on my roster are like Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. And that's just, yeah, that's when we did the draft back in 2018, which is crazy to think that we did the draft going on 3 years now. But yeah, we just drafted who we just really like. So, like, his roster, he has like Braun Strowman and like The Shield and like Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura. And of course there were guys that he drafted that, like, quite a few guys he drafted that I really wanted. I just attempted to draft them too late, which is my own fault. Like, there were guys that I really wanted, like, I wanted, like, Shelton Benjamin, Daniel Bryan, and The Miz, and, like, it's a moment in the draft, too, that is kind of hilarious looking back on it now, but he ended up drafting all three of those guys, like, 3 out of 4 picks, back-to-back, and it's like, well, damn it, dude, that sucks. Like, that really sucks. Because I really wanted to use those guys, particularly Shelton Benjamin. Like, I wanted The Miz and Daniel Bryan too, just because I really liked Miz and Daniel Bryan, and I think I could book them pretty well. But Shelton was a guy, like, I really like Shelton. I've always liked Shelton, and I wanted to work with him on Raw with the guys that I drafted. But I couldn't. And that's not to say, like, Tyson, I couldn't trade people. And I know we've been talking about doing, like, maybe, like, halfway through, when we actually get back to recording and uploading and all that stuff for Co-op Universe, by the way, once we actually get back to making the videos and getting them out there, and make more progress, we've been thinking about, like, maybe about halfway, do, like, a sort of mini draft, where, like, maybe, we do, like, random or pick people, but have it like a small list. Champions aren't eligible, stuff like that. And then maybe we get 1 year through when we do like another draft, and maybe have a match on a Wrestlemania card where whoever, like, it's a brand versus brand match, and whatever brand wins, the winning GM will then get to pick who pick someone on the roster that can't be drafted. They're like ineligible, but anyone else is fair game, which I think would be really cool, because champions could also be drafted. With the only exception being, like, I would say you couldn't draft like say if he ended up if we did that and Tyson ended up drafting, like, say the World Heavyweight Champion and the big gold belt was heading to SmackDown, right? If that were happening, I would say he then couldn't draft the WWE Champion either. I mean, like, we could try to roll with it, but I don't know. And at the end of the day, there's still a lot of time to try and figure that out, ultimately. Like, we need to actually get back to recording Co-op Universe, and I need to get back to editing it, we need to upload it, I need to make more progress with all the stuff, like taking the videos from one channel and putting it on this channel. So I can get to the point where I can upload Co-op Universe, because for the most part, I would like to try and stick to chronological order. I just think it'll work a little bit better that way, and that's just what I want to do. So yeah, again, that's kind of something that's kind of the plan there. I'm starting to make a little more progress now. It was hard to actually start doing it because I had gotten so out of practice for recording, and I just wasn't in the mindset of it anymore, because I just never had like a good time to do it throughout all of 2020. And even though I'm in a better spot now to do so, once you're out of it for so long, it's hard to actually do it, you know? It's hard to get back in that mindset and record a lot. But we're getting there. Tyson and I actually got together and recorded a lot when I first moved into my apartment, so eventually those videos would go up. What we mainly recorded was Casual Universe and got through the third pay-per-view, which is another thing I hated that I took so long to record, because I was on such a roll with getting that series recorded and then uploaded, and then for it to just out of nowhere stop, it's like, that sucked, and it kind of hurt, because like, and honestly, just not being able to upload in general just hurt. But again, there wasn't a whole lot I could do. Like, I just was not, like I said before, I just was not in a good spot to record anything. But now that I am, it's great. And I'm trying to really get back in the mindset of that, which I think I'm doing pretty well now. But yeah. It is kind of crazy though. It's funny for me to think about now, but I hadn't like really recorded in so long that once I started to get back like used to it again, another hurdle I had was trying to remember the entire process of just even starting recording in the first place. Because I'll give you a little hint, most creators, I feel, and I could be wrong on this, but I feel like most creators, they don't actually just hit record and then go. They do some sort of like little sync test or something, so they know like everything that they're recording, they can like easily sync it up instead of like trying to like comb through all the footage and make sure certain lines line up right. So they'll do like a testing 1 2 1 2 go, or like 1 2 3 clap, or just like some significant noise at the start. That they can just line up all the peaks. Not the peaks, but like just line up where it should start and sync it up, and it's really easy. And I completely forgot even how to do that. It had been so long. And like, you can do any process to make it easier for you to sync it up. Does not matter whatsoever. Just anything that makes it easier for you to make videos is the big goal. But yeah, that's really all I'm gonna say there. As I've not really been paying attention to this Rumble at all, so this has really just been me talking with SBR 2010 as B-roll. Like, really, that's what it is. But ultimately, yeah, it's fine. It is interesting again to think about all of that, but it is what it is, and I'm trying. Co-op Universe is one thing I do want to try and really push for and focus on again, though. Just because, like, it's the series that I care deeply about. I do think calling it Co-op Universe hurts us more than it helps us, though. Maybe, I don't know. Because, like, for those of you who don't know, by the way, Co-op Universe is like the Universe series that Tyson and I run in 2K19. And it's not like your normal Co-op universe that you might see in the community. It's actually like a realistic universe mode where I book everything on Raw and BCW, which is kind of like our like NXT developmental show, and then Tyson books everything on Smackdown, and then we come together to book our minor show main event. But yeah, it's like it's completely realistic, and it's meant to be our take on pro wrestling. It's not meant to be like a video game, you know. Like you're never gonna hear us say in the series, Brock Lesnar has a storied finisher or something like that. You're never gonna hear anything like that. We're not gonna acknowledge we're playing a video game. We're gonna try and make it as realistic as possible, because that's just kind of like what we like for the series. So that's our goal there. But I feel like calling it Cup Universe almost like hurts us in a way, because I know, like, the biggest example I can think of, like with Brandon and Dalton. Again, if you don't know, Brandon does everything in Phoenix Nitro. Like, I know, like, both of them had started, like, a Co-op Universe series together in other games, and theirs wasn't, like, realistic. Theirs wasn't, like, realistic. It was them, like, they were, like, playing a game, along with, like, Up, Up, Down, Down, Creed, and Breeze's, like, Battle of the Brands. That's also, like, very clearly them playing a game against one another. But it's the same kind of concept. It's just with GM mode instead of universe mode. That is one of those things that I feel like, because of series like that, calling it Co-op Universe kind of hurts, because it's not. That's not what we're going for, and we would never try and clickbait anyone to click in the videos. But at the same time, it's like part of me almost thinks that it might be doing that at least a little bit. But I don't know. It also might help us, because it might get more people interested in looking at the videos, because they see that co-op and it's like, oh hey, that's seeing that very specific word, like Co-op Universe, like that, you know what it means, but you don't really see that too often for a universe mode, actually, so it might get more people to click on it. I don't know, but I mean, we could literally accomplish the exact same thing if we were to call it just 2K19 Universe Mode, or WWE 2K Universe Mode, like Murph's does. But again, I don't know. Like, I guess the name doesn't really matter. But take a look at the end of this Rumble match. Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, and Evan Bourne. This would never happen. But there was a point in time where all three of them could have been like big stars in the Rumble, and I would not have I would not have batted an eye. Like, I like that idea. I think it's really cool, and ultimately, I guess that's really all that matters. I think it's. There was a time like, yeah, I think it's really cool and like good for them, and like, you know, I like to see it. But like, at this point now, like, that would never happen. Especially since, like, I don't think Evan, I don't think Matt Sydal will ever come back to WWE. He might be Evan Bourne again. Or yes, technically he's Evan Bourne in Evolve, I think. But that is besides the point. Just because, like, Evolve is closely related with WWE, so he can use that name there. And I don't think WWE will ever take Ziggler seriously at this point. And I don't even know if Ziggler wants to be taken that seriously in the ring for a character anymore. Like, we know how good Dolph Ziggler is. We know how good, like, Evan Bourne and John Morrison are, but they're just guys that I don't think WWE would ever try to push them. And at this point, I mean, it's probably fair. You can only try and push someone to the top for so long. And in a lot of ways, trying to push a lot of older guys normally isn't the best, because the older that you get in pro wrestling, the less longevity you have to be actually in the ring. I say as AEW just had like a 67-year-old man wrestling, but I heard he actually held his own in the ring, so good on Tully Blanchard. Yeah. And of course there are some guys who, they stay in shape and they actually can keep going for longer. I mean, like, guys like Sting and Booker T wrestled in their 50s and did it pretty well, but then you have guys like Undertaker and Goldberg who, they make it apparent that sometimes you should not do that. Like, I talked a lot about like Co-op Universe and wanting to get back to that, and kind of talked about what we're doing right now, but yeah, content-wise, there's not a whole lot I do want to talk about. But we are going to come in next. So here we go. Oh, Brain Buster on the steel. Oh, ow. That is not going to go well for Edge's neck. Whee! I just suicide dove. Ow, ow. Give me that leg. I can't believe I still remember how to play this game. Oh god, he better catapult me into the steel. Oh, I guess it doesn't actually go into the steel like that. I just flare flopped on the steel. Oh, hang on. Whoop, there we go. Whoop. Oh, dang it. Anyway. Now then. Whee! Oh, no, damn you. Get in the ring, get in the ring. Stay in the ring. Stay in the ring. Yes, get down. MVP, come here. You know what, Randy, get in here. Get in there. Get in here. Randy, get in here. Technically, I can pin on the outside. I don't care. Get in the ring. Or I'll get in the ring, but follow me. Yeah, Edge, fine. Boom, kick. Yeah, I'll take you all down. That's fine. Whee! Or I hit MVP, but not Edge or Randy. I told you, I'm gonna take you all down. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can't catch me. I can roll out the way. I am the Hurricane! Shane Helms, baby. I got a near fall on the Eye of the Hurricane, and I'm impressed. Edge, or Randy, can you not go for the one guy that I'm going for right now? Like, can you not? Please? MVP, can you not do this? No, MVP... The game is glitched. There was a glitch in my body. I hate the timing for those punches to reverse, because it doesn't feel like it's the same timing as normal punches. Backdrop driver! Let's go. Yeah, come on, Randy. That's an arm drag where I like dropped you on your head. You like it? Oh, how did you reverse that way? How did you reverse that way, man? Yes, I just needed to super kick the top rope. That's all I wanted in life. I had the Hurricane again. Yes, enjoy my splash. Yeah, Randy, keep getting hit. I don't mean to keep hitting the Eye of the Hurricane, by the way. I really don't. It's just, like, in my head, instinctually, I'm pressing, like, I think my right grapple button is what it is. Here we go. Oh, Tiger Suplex! I feel like my character's glitching. Damn it, I don't want to keep hitting this move. It's a nice move, but damn. I don't want to keep hitting the move. Can I go? God, I forgot how... Oh, Tiger Suplex again. Here we go. I forgot how bad the auto-targeting is. Like, it is atrocious. especially in the older games. I mean, at least I hit Ray there, but like I wasn't even going for Ray, and he wasn't even closer to me than Edge was. So like I don't understand. Yeah, my character's definitely glitching. MVP! What the hell? Dude? Hey, get down. I'm gonna soften up those legs. Yeah. Oh, Gutbuster. Oh, here comes the pain Gutbuster. Where, like, without fail, it would do, like, the other camera angle. Ray, do you have to do this? This is what I said when I would talk about the AI wanted to gather around you like a clusterfuck, dude. Like, always. Without fail. Oh, Unbreakable 2005! Ah, it was breakable that time. Dang it, man. The Northern Lights. The arm drag where I drop you on your head. Oh, what a right hand. Okay, what was my signature in the game? Backdrop driver. Baby, that's not the signature, by the way. I don't remember what the signature is. Triple H, really? Yeah, that is one thing that I don't miss whatsoever. The auto-targeting just sucked. As Edge is gone. Go to the Northern Lights again, though. That's fine. Oh, Crucifix! Triple H is gone. Randy's still in it, though. Oh, God. I'm terrible at wrestling in the older games. I can do it in Here Goes the Pain, weirdly enough. But Here Goes the Pain's timing is just interesting in its own right. Randy, stop doing that! The one time I need you to go for me. Oh, it's a neck breaker. Okay, some things don't change. Oh, Poison Rana! Oh, that is sick. Okay, that was sick. I made a Poison Rana. That was pretty cool. That much I like. But it's the Poison Rana, and I will forever mark out for the Poison Rana. Like, it doesn't even have to be a good match. It can have a Poison Rana and also mark out for that spot in particular. Like, honestly. Ray's bleeding under the mask. That's what I'm talking about. Let's do it. There's such, you know, I will say, I think a lot of like the animations in this game for moves, I really like. They just have like, I don't know, they just look better. There's a lot more style to them. Like even going for like, even that like auto pin on, even the auto pin on that diving elbow was like, it looked nice. You know? No, I can't end it off that. Yeah, come on, Ray. Let's go. I don't know. I don't know. I just think the animations look better. They at least look better to me. But we're gonna finish right off with the Poison Rana. And call it a day. I'm going to WrestleMania. I just gotta give myself the championship because apparently you can't put the title on in normal matches in this game. Didn't know that. I know there's some games you couldn't, but I forgot this. I guess this is just one of the games you couldn't. It doesn't matter. I am maxed out on everything, and I have 288 points. The sad thing is, like, the points are only character based, so you can't use the points otherwise. So that kind of sucks. That means we have one more thing to do. We did the Rumble, we did the Chamber at No Way Out, and now we have the match at WrestleMania. Okay, so I'm back, and it is time for the last part of the video. Myself versus Dolph Ziggler, who won the Royal Rumble. I won the Elimination Chamber match. And for this remake of that original video from back in 2015, making it bigger and better, let's finish it up. It's been a few days since I recorded the first part. Just haven't had the time really to record it. And when I have had the time, I kind of just got a bit lazy. Anyway, let's get into the match. Myself versus Dolph Ziggler for the World Heavyweight Championship. Again, he won the Rumble, I won the Elimination Chamber match, and this was essentially me making my own road to WrestleMania. So we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Live at the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania, which is actually the 24th anniversary of WrestleMania, but whatever. And woohoo, just look at me with the Christian mesh shirt and the Sabu pants. Running down, all happy with the World Heavyweight Championship. Yay! I don't have the sound on right now, so I don't know what theme is playing. So I might end up having to just cut the entrance out entirely. But there is Dolph Ziggler. Who would have thought this man, this early in his career, would be getting a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity in the main event of WrestleMania. Except it's two smaller guys in the... it's two smaller guys. Yes, except it's two smaller guys for a world title at WrestleMania, so you know Vince would automatically put this as like the opening match or something. Oh, nice. I also went and looked up a slider set for this game just to try to make this last match a little more interesting. You better not start spamming that damn elbow drop. But yeah, so far this has been pretty cool. Oh god, my face just went off the barricade. And that slider set did say to turn on the stamina system. Oh, nice. He is reversing a lot more. Boom! There we go. Which I don't necessarily like. Except it didn't let me reverse. What the heck? I mean, that one I could reverse, I just didn't. Yeah, that was way too early on the reversal. Get off me. Oh, he reversed the... Oh, he reversed the chop. I didn't run towards him. I didn't run towards him. What the heck? Yeah, come on. Here we go. Come on. Let's go. Dolph, get up. How dare you block my cane clothesline? Controller, how dare you not reverse? Yeah, kick you in the face. Take my chop. No, don't. Let me freaking reverse, damn it. Yeah, take my knees again. So it doesn't want to let me reverse a whole lot. Yeah, let me hit you with the Gregory Helm knees. You like that? Like that? Come on, man. So far, I don't know what to feel about this slider set. Like, the slider sets in the newer games, I will give a lot more credit. That is such a Dolph Ziggler thing to do. And I still couldn't reverse. But I will give the slider sets in the newer games a lot more credit because they are a whole lot more thought out and just better, I think, in a lot of ways. Because so far, the one here, the main, like, I'm not getting anything other than Dolph just countering a lot. And with the counter window in this game being pretty strict, that's a bit of a pain. And it is interesting to go back to these older games where the counter window was so strict. Because it's just weird. Except for that. The counter window on that is still very, not strict at all. Super kick, baby. Let's go. Tiger suplex. Eye of the Hurricane. Go for quick pins, everybody. Off the ropes into a Hurricane Rana. Getting desperate. Oh, I missed the super kick. But he's not making... Oh, Tiger Bomb. Tiger Bomb. There we go. Tiger Bomb. Oh, I caught him as he flew underneath me. But yeah, like, I'm having fun doing the remakes and stuff, and there are some that I've kind of put on the back burner a little bit, like all of the... I had a plan to take all of the old video game collective videos that I had made all those years ago and combine them all into one. And I kind of just lost a lot of motivation to make that video as of late. So I put that on the back burner for now, and if I ever get the motivation to do that video in particular, I will go back to it. But for now, that is going to be a big, like, I'm waiting to do it. Oh, I forgot about the change camera angles. As well as that, like, my old, like, ranking the original trilogies for Jack, Ratchet, and Sly. That is different. Or that's gonna be, like, I'm waiting to do that one. Okay, that was sick as hell, though. Like, that one is me waiting. Okay, I don't get there. Yeah, I'm waiting on that one because for me to play all of the original trilogies again. And I'm going to write down my thoughts and just try and be, like, very just researched about the topic at hand. That is kind of my goal there. So that one will have to wait until I can finish all the games and write down all my thoughts and everything. So that's why I immediately moved to the first couple of gameplay remakes that I wanted to do. And I'm having a lot of fun just kind of more casually playing the games, like I said before. Come on. Come on. Inzagiri. Dolphin. Listen. Oh god, he blocked. He blocked. Ow. There we go. Big kick. Oh, my eyes. Nice try. Arm drag again. There we go. Come on, Randy Orton. Forearm drop. Oh, Lion Salt. There we go. Lion Salt. Does that get the win? It does. The Lion Salt gets the win and I retain the title. But damn. I kind of enjoyed that. It started off like a lot with just Dolph doing like nothing but reversing, but as we got more into it, things started to pick up a little bit and I liked it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I do wish Dolph could have kicked out of the Lion Salt and then I could have finished him with the Poison Rana, but it was cool regardless. But yeah, so that should be the end of the video. I did a Royal Rumble match, an Elimination Chamber match, and a match at Wrestlemania. I created my own Road to WrestleMania and completely remade the original SPR 2010 Random Chamber match that was recorded back in 2015. And I got nothing else to say really, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment down below, share it up on social media, do all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye guys.